Hello and welcome back. Now, we now continue to the third part of our video, which is because we want to stick with the 30 minutes, about 30 minutes max for each section because we don't want it too long. So, where we were, once again, if you just join us, watch the previous videos. We are now in this is the beginning of part, or rather say series 5.4. We're in a very long project here. We've come very far. We're approaching about midway now in the part of our YouTube video series or tutorial video series for learning data analytics with AI, part of Debonair training short courses. So if you really want to get involved with the code and everything, become a proper PHP Moodle developer, and you will have to register with debonairtraining.com, and we'll enroll you as long as satisfied conditions. Alternatively, you can just follow along our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share, as well as comment down below if you need some more information or you have something to contribute, because we're all here to learn from each other. So yes, going back to the code, we already have our variables declared and assigned empty arrays, and what we discussed was what this really meant is for each, went through line by line. Now what I'm going to do in this part is I am going to first of all get the code in here in the VS Code. So when we got the code there, we're gonna now go through this. Let's save this so we know it's saved. Okay. Then it says in the B of step 2 of this development above. And I say B of step 2, this is what I mean. Because we broke it down earlier, right? Because step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, part of the development plan, remember? So we're now in 2, and we're now in 2B, which is getting unique records, categorizing scores, and categorizing and sorting scores. So 2B now. So this is 2A, this part here, and now this is 2B. So in 2B, we assign variables as arrays, i.e. best scores, worst scores, average score, and unique scores, okay, which we've done here. Then joining or concatenating the first name and last name properties of record. So we joined or concatenated the first and last name properties of record and assigned to full name. Then the resulting full name is assigned to record. So the resulting full name is assigned here, okay? Then assign this record. No, then the resulting full name is assigned to record name as a property of record object variable, which we've already gone through. Then assign this record with the added variable to best scores and worst scores. So then assign the record with the added variable. With this added variable, so we now added record to best scores and worst scores. So that explains exactly what we did. Then we use the reverse of PHP if is set function to check if each record has a record user ID property. That's what we said we did. So we use this is set to see if it has a user ID property, and then if it doesn't, in other words, not set with user ID, we use array pairs to start count for each name. So we use the array pairs to start each count for each name if it's not set, and that's what happened here. Okay. Then total in the score using the PHP addition assignment operator. So we now total the score using this one there. We're using this one there. We now total the score there. and then incrementing for each score per name counted using the PHP increment operator. Then we use this one there. Okay, so I hope that's clear. So we're now going to go into calculate average score, which is the C part. So again, for each username score as user ID paired to data. That's a PHP function, and it's trying to use a logic here for each user score as user ID. Okay, paired to the data. For each user ID paired to data, the data variable average is equal to data data whereby total is again is an array, and date account is an array. Remember we arranged all of that earlier, where total, the data total and the data count we now is divided, but to get the average you have the data total and the data count. So essentially, which is what happens here, this is the total, this is the count. Yeah, we're now saying the data total, the data count equals the average. And remember, we got the user scores as ID, as a user ID paired to data. So this is where the logic comes in. So average score, or rather average record, we are now changing to a new standard class from we now want to work with new standard class as opposed to arrays. Okay, and this is how you convert it to a new standard class. New standard class is assigned to average record. Average record, user ID, username. So user ID is assigned to average record, user ID. The data name for each of these total, whoever we are working with, whatever that data is, it shows it as data name. Okay, then we have the average record score. Then we have average, which is the score. So whatever that turns out to, that is assigned to the score. Average record course is, we just assign the average because we don't know which of the courses and we don't want to complicate it, so we just give it average. And the same goes for date, and then for average scores we just assign it the average record. Okay, so that's where we get the average scores from. So here I'm going to give you a summary of it. Let me first of all get that code here. Okay, so that's there now. Yep, so that's there, and I'm going to go through it. Say in the C part, in the C of step 2 of this development above, for each of the user score, it is processed as new variable data, and data must be paired with a unique user ID. So it says for each of the user scores, it is processed as a new variable data, and the data must be paired with a unique user ID. Okay, so that one we've established. User scores as user ID equals data right there. Each time it totals and counts the user score and assigns to average. So each time this happens, it does that and assigns it to average. Okay, just like it says, average record is created as a new standard class. So average record is created as a new standard class here. The string average is used as a placeholder for course and date, since the average of them doesn't make sense in this context. So this is where we do that. Messed up the code there. So okay, so it doesn't make sense to try and work out exactly which course in all the law. Average record with all property is now assigned to array average scores. So average record with all properties so far is assigned to average scores. Okay, so that's where we are now. So now let's wrap it up as much as we can to D. Okay, sort record by score. So we are now going to do the use sort. So the sorting the record by score is use sort best scores function a $a comma $b return b score b variable the property score, and then this is what's used for descending order. We call it the spaceship operator, and essentially what it does, it will describe it below, but essentially we use the spaceship operator to get the descending order, okay, for best, and we use this one use sort what scores function is just the reverse of this essentially, and return the reverse as well. This causes us to get the best ascending order of best score, and use sort average scores function AB, which is essentially what we did in the very beginning. Here we now just put it down here, but it will be descending order of descending order should be what score, not no, we should use exactly the same as that one, but we're actually using it for the average scores, okay, instead of the best scores. Okay, so that's that. Now in the D of step 2 above, what we're doing is use sort is a PHP function for sorting, so that's clear. So let me just copy this one so we are clear what we're doing. Okay, there are PHP functions for sorting numbers a, b, and $a, $b. The spaceship is called spaceship operator. It compares if the first variable is less than the second variable. If so, it returns -1. If the same as second, if it is same as the second, it returns 0, and if it is greater than the second, it returns, in other words, +1. There are other PHP ways of doing a comparison, but this all allows it to be done simply in one line. The second use sort function is the opposite of the first to get ascending scores. The third use sort function is similar to the first, i.e. averages in descending order. So that's it for now. I hope you're following along. If you have, of course, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Or if you really want to take this course, then all you need to do is go to debonairtraining.com/LMS or send me an email, and I would enroll you as long as you meet our conditions for free courses. Okay, so speak to you soon in the next one.